Hello everyone, this is Vikas from team AppSprinters, and today I'm going to demo my budget app known as Kanjoosmaster. So this is the welcome page when you open the app. I'm going to register as a new user. We need a password of at least length 6, so if I enter a password of lesser length, you can see that there's going to be an error message which is thrown. So I'm going to go ahead and register, or if I even leave any one of the fields empty, it's still going to throw an error message. So this is how the app looks when we've opened the app for the first time. This is the daily page, and here we have access to the current week that we're in. This plus button is going to allow us to add a particular transaction. So if I go ahead and change this, we can see that everything changes to earning. So I'm going to go ahead and add an expense. Let's say I ate lunch today. I'm going to keep the expense as food, and there is error handling done here. So if I leave any of the fields empty, or just put a bunch of spaces, for example, it's going to say invalid input. Or if I go ahead and add a negative number here, for example, it's going to say invalid input. So I'm going to say lunch is 250 rupees. You can see that this expense got added here under my Monday page because today is Monday. So if I go to the other pages, you can see that I won't be able to see that expense. Now if I click on the expense tile, it's going to open this box which is going to give me more information. Here is where the description of the transaction is. Alright, so the third screen is the budget screen. Here I have access to all the transactions and budgets that have taken place between two dates, which can be set at the top here in this white box. So now the default option for this box is between the first day of the current month and the last day of the current month. So it's going to show all the budgets and transactions that took place in the month. So I'm going to go ahead and add a budget for food for today, and I'm going to say that the budget is 500 rupees. So you can see that this budget wheel got added here. I've already spent 250 rupees off the budget, hence it says 50% complete. If I go ahead and expand this budget, it's going to give me more information. This expenses page here will give me the list of all the expenses that contributed towards this budget. So lunch here, you can see that the 26th of June expense that I just added is here. I can also go ahead and delete the budget from this page. So whenever we exceed a budget, so for example, let's say I ate dinner today. So the budget was for 250 rupees. If I add an expense of 300, that's going to exceed my budget. So if I confirm, we can see that this dialog box came here, which says budget exceeded. It's going to give me the details of the budget that got exceeded, and it's saying that the budget was for 500 rupees and I spent 550, and the budget is exceeded. So if I go here, we can see that it says 110%. So this is a pie chart of the expenses for the dates that have been mentioned here. So if I go ahead and add another expense of a different category, so let's say drinks, I can leave this description empty, and by default it will say no description in the expense. So if I say for 250 rupees. Now if I go to the budgets page, you can see that this pie chart changed. I can also add an income. So if I change this checkbox, it's going to say earning category. There are two default earning categories, which is pocket money and TA money. So for pocket money, let's say I earned an amount, I'm going to say pocket money for June, and I earned 5,000 rupees, for example. So we can see that this became green, which means that it's an earning. And in this budgets page, here we can also look at all the transactions that were that are grouped according to the category that they came under. So these two are food, dinner and lunch, and this is drinks, and this is pocket money. Now we can see there are two pie charts here. One pie chart is for expenses and one pie chart is for earnings. The second page is the stats page. So this tells me the day-to-day expenses. The second graph. The second graph gives us along this month how much did I spend in the different days. So if we hold down on the graph and slide our finger, it's going to tell us the coordinates of that point. So we can see that at 26th it says 800 because I spent a total of 800 today. That's the second graph. The first graph is a cumulative transaction, so it's going to add along the days of the month. So you can see that it's 0 till 26th, and on 26th the income became 5,000 and the expenditure became 800, and it remained like that for the future days because it's cumulative. So if I add an income or a expense tomorrow, it'll get added to this 5,800. So I can go ahead and look at all the previous months. Because there's no data for the previous months, it's all a flat line in the graph. So those were the first 3 pages. I'll just go ahead and add another budget and show that we can delete it as well. So let's say for drinks, I add a budget for the entire month of say 2,000. Yeah, we can see that this drinks is here. I can go ahead and change the date as well to only include the budgets that I set today, for example. So if I say 26th and 26th and press confirm, only the food budget is there, the drinks budget is no longer there because the drinks budget was for the entire month and I selected to view only the budget that was set for today. I'm going to go ahead and change it back to the entire month. Yeah, you can see that this drinks budget is back. I'm going to go ahead and delete this budget. Yeah, that budget got deleted and only the food budget is remaining. Okay, so those were the first 3 pages. We can this budgets page is the page that is going to give us the most information about all the budgets and transactions that happen between 2 dates. So now the 4th page is the profile page. Here I can see my username and as well as the expense and the earning categories. So if the user wants to add a category of his own, he can go to this expense category and add a category. So I'm going to say fruits, for example. So you can see that fruits got added as the 7th category. And now if I try to add an expense, we can see that fruits shows up here and I can add a fruits expense. So let's say I say apples and I spend 250. Yeah. So this apples transaction now comes under the fruits category. I can do anything with the fruits category. It's treated as a brand new category now, so I can even go ahead and add a budget for the fruits category. The same thing goes with earning as well. So if I say something like internship money, yeah, the internship money got added as an earning category, and I can add an earning under the internship category. So if I say money for June and I earned, let's say, 20,000. So we can see that this amount will now come in our pie chart under internship money. So this pie chart actually denotes the sum of all the transactions that happened in that particular category for the time period that was mentioned in the white box. So all the information that is in this page is always for between the 2 dates mentioned in the white box. I can also go ahead and add a large purchase. So for example, let's say I want to buy a laptop for like 60,000. So this got added, and here what I can do is I can make a record of the amount of money that I've saved for this. So let's say I've put away 10,000 rupees for this. So you can say that saved amount is 10,000, and I can also add a link. So if I, for example, if I have an Amazon link that I want to add for laptop, I can add it here. So let's say I just say ASD for now. So this got added as link 1. So if I long press it, ASD got copied to my clipboard. So, and we can also go ahead and change the amount of money we've saved. So if I say 20,000 now, it got changed to 20,000. So I'm going to sign out and sign in as a user that I've been using to debug this app. So it has a lot of data, so we can see how the charts and the line graphs look when we have multiple expenses. So we can see that I added a bunch of transactions yesterday and the days before that. So I'm going to go to this budgets page. Yeah, we can see that I had set a bunch of budgets to test the app, and these were all the expenses that I had set. And this is how my pie chart of expenses looked. If I go to line chart, yeah, this is how the graphs would look if we have multiple transactions that were set across the month. I can also actually add another user to my expense. So for example, if I have this taxi if I have this taxi expense, I can go ahead and add the Rahul account that I just created now. So, okay, if I put an email that doesn't exist now, for example, it's going to say please enter valid details because the user does not exist. So I'm going to go ahead and add rahul@gmail.com. Also, if I add an amount which is more than the amount of the entire transaction, it's going to throw an error as well. So if I say 300, it's going to say valid details. So if I say Rahul owed 100 rupees for the transaction, yeah, we can see that 265 got reduced to 165 after I added Rahul to that transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out and log back in as Rahul again. Yeah, we can see that taxi 100 got added to Rahul's account. So thank you. That was the Kanjoosmaster app along with all of its features. I hope you enjoyed it.